The narrative unfolds on Earth, nearly a century post the Great Crisis, a period marked by ecological and economic devastation that dwindled the global populace from 6 billion to 2 billion. The storyline oscillates between the 2070s, chronicling the unearthing of the electron pump, and events 23 years later. In this backdrop, radiochemist Frederick Hallam stumbles upon a significant anomaly, the alteration of a container's contents. Investigation reveals that the original tungsten sample has transmuted into plutonium-186, an isotope foreign to our universe's natural order. Hallam proposes that beings from a parallel universe have orchestrated this matter exchange, thus birthing the pump, a revolutionary energy source. This device facilitates the transfer of matter between our universe, where plutonium-186 decays into tungsten-186, and a parallel realm governed by distinct physical laws, resulting in a nuclear reaction. Hallam's pivotal insight elevates him to public acclaim, granting him power, prestige, and even a Nobel Prize. Fast forward 25 years, physicist Peter Lamont, delving into the pump's history, suspects its inception was catalyzed by extraterrestrial paramen. Lamont recruits Myron Mike Bernowski, an erudite archaeologist and linguist renowned for his expertise in Etruscan translations, to validate his theory by establishing communication with the parallel universe. Employing strips of tungsten inscribed with symbols to forge a shared written language, they exchange them for plutonium-186 strips. Meanwhile, Lamont uncovers a perilous consequence of the pump: its augmentation of the strong nuclear force within the Sun, endangering both universes with the potential explosion of Earth's sun and the chilling of its parallel counterpart. Upon receiving acknowledgement from the parallel universe regarding the pump's hazardous nature, Lamont endeavors to alert politicians and fellow scientists. However, his pleas are rebuffed. Determined to halt the peril, Lamont aims to convey the urgency to the paramen, only to discover, through Bernowski, that their counterparts lack the authority to cease pump operations, as they are in contact with dissidents powerless against its continuance. Their final communication beseeches Earth to intervene and halt the pump's operation. The second part of the narrative unfolds in the parallel universe, where the gravitational force is intensified, resulting in smaller and shorter-lived stars compared to our universe. Specifically, the story unfolds on a planet orbiting a dying sun. Unique to this universe is the altered behavior of atoms, allowing substances to permeate one another and seemingly occupy the same space, granting its intelligent inhabitants extraordinary abilities. Time operates differently here. While events occur swiftly in the lives of its denizens, more than 2 decades pass in our universe. For instance, a prolonged feeding hiatus for one character translates into a mere 2-week interval on Lamont's side. Mirroring the unconventional chapter numbering of the first part, each chapter, save the final one, comprises 3 segments denoted as 1A, 1B, and 1C, each offering the perspective of a member of the central triad. The populace consists of 2 distinct types: the dominant hard ones, possessing solid, unchanging bodies, and the more fluid, soft ones, whose forms are mutable. The latter exhibit 3 genders, each with prescribed roles: rationals, or lefts, embodying logic and scientific prowess, designated with masculine pronouns and responsible for sperm production. They possess limited ability to pass through solid bodies. Emotionals, or mids, embodying intuition, identified with feminine pronouns, and supplying reproductive energy. They can phase through solid matter, including rocks. Parentals, or rights, tasked with bearing and nurturing offspring, identified with masculine pronouns. They possess minimal capability for bodily integration, except with assistance from the other sexes. These genders adhere to societal norms dictating behavior and function primarily through photosynthesis. Sexual intercourse entails bodily melding into a singular pool, termed melting. While rationals and parentals can merge independently, in the presence of an emotional, the fusion becomes complete, culminating in orgasm and temporary unconsciousness with memory loss. Only during such total fusion can a rational impregnate a parental, facilitated by the emotional's energy. Typically, the triad produces 3 children in succession before vanishing permanently. Past triads have perpetuated this cycle to sustain population growth, but dwindling solar radiation impedes this practice. Stone rubbing, akin to human masturbation, involves partial melding with solid objects like rocks, predominantly practiced by emotionals, with limited engagement from the other genders, deemed socially taboo. Dua, the emotional central to this segment, engages in this practice despite being married, a rarity within their society. The governance of soft one society largely falls under the purview of the hard ones, who organize individuals into mating groups known as triads, comprising one of each sex, and serve as mentors to the rationals. Although little is unveiled about hard one society, Dua suspects that they are a dwindling race, substituting the soft ones for their absent offspring. However, Odin, the rational within Dua's triad, dismisses this notion. Being in closest contact with the hard ones, Odin has gleaned tidbits about a new hard one named Estwald, renowned for exceptional intellect and credited as the architect of the pump. Dua, an emotional with atypical rational traits, earns the moniker Left M. While under Odin's tutelage, she stumbles upon the same supernova predicament uncovered by Lamont in the preceding section. Enraged by the continued operation of the pump, she endeavors to cease its function but fails to sway her own kind. With their universe's energy sources dwindling, they deem risking Earth's sun destruction worthwhile for a more dependable energy alternative. Motivated by an innate urge to reproduce, Trit, the parental in the triad, initially implores Odin to persuade Dua into facilitating their third offspring. When persuasion proves futile, Trit resorts to stealing an energy battery from the pump, configuring it to energize Dua. This prompts a total melt among the triad, leading to conception. However, Dua uncovers this betrayal and flees to the caves of the Hard Ones, relaying the warning messages received by Lamont. This endeavor nearly claims her life before her triad locates her. It is here revealed that the Hard Ones aren't a distinct species, but rather the eventual mature form that triads permanently merge into. Each melt permits a brief transition into their hard form, during which they later forget. Odin convinces Dua that their eventual hard form will wield influence to halt the pump. As their final metamorphosis commences, Dua realizes, albeit belatedly, that their own triad's hard form is the scientist Estwald, an irreversible union they can't forestall. The third segment of the novel unfolds on the moon, where lunar society is rapidly diverging from its earthly counterpart. The diminished gravity has sculpted inhabitants with markedly different physiques. Their sustenance, derived from algae, is unpalatable to Earthlings, while they revel in low-gravity sports unthinkable on Earth, such as a gravity-defying rendition of tag played within a colossal cylinder. These athletic pursuits are vital for Lunarites, as their metabolism mirrors that of Earth's denizens, necessitating rigorous exercise for optimal function. Certain Lunarites harbor ambitions to further adapt their bodies to lunar life, yet Earth's long-standing ban on genetic engineering impedes their aspirations. Consequently, a growing sense of distinct identity as a separate race begins to permeate Lunarite society, notwithstanding common procreation between Lunarites and Earthlings. However, sexual encounters pose challenges, as the vast discrepancy in gravity renders Earthlings significantly stronger, potentially causing harm to Lunarite partners due to their fragile bones. By earthly standards, sexual mores are lax, and nudity carries no stigma. Central to the narrative is Denison, a jaded middle-aged ex-physicist whose introduction dates back to Part 1 as the colleague and rival of Hallam, whose caustic remark spurred Hallam's investigation into the tungsten sample alteration, ultimately leading to the creation of the pump. Finding his scientific path obstructed by Hallam's shadow, Denison transitions to the realm of business, achieving considerable success. Independently of Lamont, Denison discerns the perils posed by the electron pump. He ventures to the moon colony in pursuit of avenues untainted by Hallam's influence, leveraging the Lunarites' technological advancements. Guided by Celine Lindstrom, a Lunarite tourist guide harboring a clandestine identity as an intuitionist, a genetically enhanced individual endowed with extraordinary intuition, Denison colludes with her lover, Baron Neville, and their cohort of political dissidents striving for lunar independence. Their fervent desire includes permission to explore electron pump applications on the moon. While solar energy amply sustains their subterranean habitats, Neville harbors aspirations of subterranean living, eschewing surface ventures entirely. With the aid of Lunarite scientists, Dennison gains access to crucial technology, substantiating the alarming surge in the strong nuclear force destined to trigger solar cataclysm. Dennison persists in his endeavors, delving into a third parallel universe existing in a pre-Big Bang state referred to as the cosmic egg, or cosmeg, where physical laws diametrically oppose those of Dua's universe. Originating from the cosmeg, matter initiates with a feeble nuclear force, gradually amalgamating as our universe's laws assert dominance. Interaction with the second parallel universe not only yields surplus energy at minimal expense, but also offsets electron pump-induced alterations, restoring equilibrium. However, Selene conducts a covert experiment revealing that momentum can likewise be exchanged with the cosmeg. Dennison apprehends her, unveiling her clandestine agenda. Neville envisions utilizing momentum exchange to maneuver objects sans rockets, including the moon itself, aiming for complete detachment from Earth. While Dennison recognizes the technology's potential to streamline intrasolar system travel and even facilitate interstellar journeys, he recoils at Neville's audacious scheme. When Selene shares Neville's plan with their compatriots, consensus emerges that relocating the entire moon would be futile, favoring the construction of self-sustaining sublight starships instead. Subsequently, a public vote disapproves of Neville's proposal. Dennison's revelations precipitate Hallam's downfall. Eventually, Selene and Dennison kindle a romantic relationship. Empowered by permission to conceive a second child, Selene implores Dennison to father it. The novel concludes with their determination to navigate the sexual incompatibility hurdle, embarking on a collaborative endeavor. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.